Hi, my name is NURB, and this is my NURB 361 Intro to Nursing Research Ethics video. So for our ethics video, the study that I've chosen is the Stanford Prison Experiment. In this experiment, a prison was simulated in the basement of the Stanford University Psychology Building. The purpose of the study was to determine if the violence in the U.S. prison systems was due to the sadistic personalities of the guards, or if it was purely situational due to the fact of they had so much authority over the prisoners. So they interviewed 75 applicants and then they chose 24, but due to a couple different reasons, a few of them dropped out beforehand. So there ended up being 11 guards and 10 prisoners. The guards worked in shifts. They were all paid $15 a day, including the quote-unquote prisoners. And to be selected, you had to have no past history of violence in your life. So the participants were actually arrested randomly throughout the day while they were at their homes or their dorms, just wherever they were without warning, and they were blindfolded and then transported to the basement, and they were processed like real prisoners. They were made to strip down everything, and then they were given an identification number, and they were only allowed to be identified by that number. They could not use their real names whatsoever. So very quickly, within days, the guards started inflicting physical and psychological punishments. Now, they weren't actually allowed to do any true physical punishments, but they would make prisoners do push-ups and physical labor sort of things to do physical punishments. And then for psychological punishments, they would turn the prisoners against one another, name-calling, things like that. And so within 3 days, the quote-unquote prisoners began to have like mental breakdowns. They started being very emotional labile. They were crying uncontrollably. They were laughing maniacally. So this quickly brought concern, and they tried a couple different things. They allowed the family to visit. They allowed a priest to come in, but seemingly none of this really helped. And so a few of them started getting violent outbursts along with that. So ultimately, they decided to shut the study down early. So there are many ethical wrongdoings clearly in this. So first was the consent. The subjects, the participants in this experiment didn't actually consent to everything that happened to them. They didn't know that they would be randomly arrested and everything, is because that was decided a few minutes before it actually began, because they had to get police clearance to do that. And so then the participants weren't actually rightfully protected from the physiological and psychological harm that was done to them during the experiment, because they didn't really predict that these were the reactions that they would have. And then also stated that when other psychologists were brought in, they stated that the living conditions were really harsh and everything that they had to live in. So then that's kind of unethical. And then so pretty much that these are the worst things ethically wrong with this, but this actually did lead to the formal recognition of ethical guidelines by the American Psychological Association. So I guess there was some good that came out of this, but I don't know, it's honestly kind of rough. So thank you.